Hello, this is the next video in using the Google Tools with our PTSA unit, and today I'm going to cover using the Google Calendar. Some really powerful features here allowing us to put information into calendar events. We can view those events in different formats. We can share calendars with others and give them access to look or to even modify. And we can invite people to an event using Calendar using their email addresses. So let's jump right in. I'm logged in here as my oahsptsa.org account. Click here on the little box and select Calendar. This is going to take me to my calendar. As you can see, I don't have any events right now, but let's take a quick look at our controls. These controls allow us to move through whatever view we're currently set at. We're currently looking at 1 week at a time. So this will move us to the next week, and by looking up here you can tell the week. And this is currently set to show Sunday through Saturday. There's a place to change that. We'll see if I remember to show you that if you're interested. So we can move around, or to jump back to today, click here, and today is listed right here, and the bar shows just about what time it is, so you know what day I'm making this video and about what time I'm doing it. So we have different views of the calendar. So by clicking on day, we can see today, again the date, the line indicating the current time, and then ability to move through each day. We can see month. We can see a 4-day view. I do not know what that's about, but it's an option there. And then actually my favorite view is agenda. So we click here, and this just shows us, regardless of where it falls in the month, just shows us in order things that are already on the calendar, date, time, a little subject, and from here I can click to go look at more details. So agenda, probably a good name for that. Let's switch back to the month here. Over here on the left side, we've got the ability to create new events, to put things on our calendar. We'll do that in a minute. We have a little mini month map to help us move through different months, and click to jump to that place. One note on here, these two numbers are bold, so there are some events there. Sure, there's a meeting and interview. So, and I can click on these to get more details if I want. And all the non-bold ones are just days that don't have anything planned. Over here I have a couple different controls for calendars. So if I expand this, you can see that I have my calendar, and then the President account has shared that calendar, so I can actually look at events. And in fact, my guess is that these events on this calendar are actually coming from the President's account, not my own. I can click on it to hide all the President events, and they disappear. I can click again to show them, and there they are. I can hide my own events. So just by clicking on the different calendars that are shared with you, you can hide them or show them. Other calendars, this is a feature that Google offers for calendars that are not associated with our group, for instance. Like, they automatically give you access to holidays. They've created a calendar somewhere out there with holidays in the United States. I can click and add them to see in my view. So now I'm showing my events, which there are none here. I'm showing the President's events, and I'm showing holidays. And of course we've got the gear with some settings we can take a look at in a bit. So let's get started here. Let's create an event. So if I click on create, I'm taken to an event, or I'm sorry, a screen to create an event. We start with the title. You're going to want to make it meaningful so that you remember, and if you choose to share this or invite others, it should be something meaningful. So the name of the event, the name of the meeting, something useful like that. And here you can pick the date. You can make it multiple days if you want. This is the start time and the end time. By default, Google wants to make something on the day that I had previously selected, which I was on October 1st when I clicked on the create button, and an 1 hour block close to the current time right now on my computer. So I can go around and play with this. I can make an event all day, so it takes away the time, and it's just basically an all-day thing. I can also make a repeating event, and let's see if I remember how to do this. So you can make something repeat weekly, daily, weekday, every other day starting Monday, every other day starting Tuesday, monthly or annually. Annually is a good thing for annual events such as holidays or other particular events that happen once a year, like birthdays, that kind of thing. Monthly might be a place to put our meetings in. So there's a couple different controls here. I can have this repeat for 1 month, which doesn't really make much sense here, but I can also have it repeat for many different number of months. I can also have it start on a particular date and have it end on a particular date. So I can have it go on for eternity. I can have it occur 35 times in a row, or I can have it on the calendar until a certain date that I pick here. And this summary is going to show you what you've got selected, so you can just check and see if it makes any sense. And let's see, I'm going to have this repeat monthly, and let's go for 4 occurrences once a month, and when it happens is going to be based on the date that I have selected out here. So this is monthly, repeats once a month. I could have it repeat twice a month or such. And could actually, if I wanted, I forgot about this, I could have it repeat on a particular day. So I have out here, I have Wednesday picked, so this is going to happen every Wednesday, and it's going to happen 4 times. Let's go with that one. Click on Done, and we get a little summary again. I can go change that if I want. And then here I can put in a location if I want. Nice thing about this is that Google locations are integrated with this box. So usually if I just start typing, it's going to go through and look for areas that it already knows, and it happens to have our school there. So I can click there and it fills in the location information. This is good just as a reminder. If you have access to this calendar on your phone, it's going to help you integrate this into your navigation app. So once this event comes up, you can say, take me there, and it'll go over to your navigation application. If I have access to other calendars, I can create this on another calendar. So I could create this on the president's calendar if the president gave me access to do that. And actually, I'm not sure if that's set up, but I don't want to do that yet anyway. Okay, and then a nice description of what it is. Maybe this is a committee meeting for something, so I could just type freeform in here. If there are any attachments associated with it, I could click here, and I will get a couple of options. The default is Drive, so it takes me to my Google Drive, shows me things that I can attach there. Love the logo, so let's go with that. I believe I can attach other things as well. How about that is, let's see. Click there, and I believe if I hold the Control key and click, I select those 2 items. Those 2 items are now attached to this event, so when I open them up, I can download them or look at them, and I can remove them. Let's get rid of that one by clicking the X. For fun, if I want, I can make this a different color on my calendar. Let's make it red. And then I can set reminders. I can have a pop-up reminder 10 minutes before start time, or some number of hours, days, or weeks. And I can just type in this number and make it pop up. I can have multiple pop-ups, so maybe I also want an email. And I want an email 2 days before, so I can get ready. Probably have to get some minutes or something out for this meeting, so I want a couple days notice. And then we can make this private if we want, so no one else can see it. Default, I believe, is whoever you have it shared with. And then you can show this busy or available. I don't know if we really use that here, but others that can look at your calendar can tell if you're actually available. The last thing here is you can invite other people to this meeting. So you would put in addresses, and I believe it's a comma between each email address, and then you click on Add. So let's invite the president. Now, because the president is in my contact list, it pops up automatically here, so I don't have to type so much. And so there's the president. I can allow the president or any guests to modify the event if they want or not. I can allow them to invite others, and I can allow them to see everyone else who was invited, or I can take those away. Just depends on what it is that you're doing and what you want them to see. And of course you can click on the X to get rid of folks. And so at this point we have an event. Well, I didn't give it a title, so okay, so there's our meeting, there's our time frame, it's repeating, it's 1 hour, and I've got the location. I should probably put a description, but I'm not a very good typist, so let's get past that. I've got a couple different reminders. I'm happy with it, and I'm going to click Save. And so this is because I added guests. Do I want to send emails to those? So I have sent emails. You can see that this appears on my calendar. And if I set it up right, this should appear on my calendar 4 times. So we see it here on the 1st. If I go to the next month, here it is on the 5th. Here it is on the 3rd of December. Should have one more here, which is the first Wednesday, and then it's gone. So those are the 4 occurrences that I set up. Let's go back to today. And so that's just like I set up. If I need to make any modifications, I click on it. This shows me some basic information, and click on Edit, and I'm back to this screen, and we can just start over or make changes as needed. I didn't make any changes, so I'm gonna discard them. Now, if you've got a calendar and you want to share it with others, that is quite easy to do. Over here, find your calendar, click on this little drop down, and we've got a sharing option. There are some other things we can do, like make this calendar a different color. We can make it green. So events for my calendar are now green. Events for the president, well, let's change that one. Let's make the president red. So you can see the text is now red. And of course these holidays have already been set to be black text with this kind of hashed reddish rose color, whatever. So back here, let's go back to sharing. I can click here to share. And then kind of like if you looked at the Google Docs, I can share this with everybody that has our oahsptsa.org address. Make it really easy, and I can set how I want them to share. They can see every event or just see when I'm free and busy, but not really know what it is I'm doing. So we're a pretty good group. I just pick see all events. So this is basically going to share it with anybody. I'm not going to do that for this account because there's really no need to clog up your email with that, so I'm going to remove that. But like the president would probably want to share their calendar with everybody. Now I can share with specific people, just like the other tools we've looked at, by putting in an address. So if I want to share this back to just the president, I share my entire calendar, and that's the difference. I shared an event and actually invited the president to an event, but here I'm just sharing my whole calendar. So I select the president, and now I can pick, because the president is in our group, we have one choice, and that's changes and manage shares. And I can remove that by clicking on the little trash can icon, and it goes away. Or I can go back here. This is my old email address. And here, because this person is not in our group, I get different changes or different options for sharing. So I can set this to, again, just see my no details, just busy free. See every event, be allowed to change events, and even manage sharing of those events. I don't trust this guy too much, so I'm just going to let this person see the events, and that's all. Click on Add. The share is complete now, so when this person logs in and looks at their calendar, they're going to see my events. Once you're done with this, click Save overall, and we see save changes have been saved, and this account is now, or this calendar I should say, is now shared with others. That is pretty much it. We can look at settings real quick. Little gear and settings. And these are some things just to make creating events a little easier. So if you want to change something like the format time, if you're say used to military time, you could select that. You saw when I created the event that it was 1 hour long. If you want to make it a little bit longer, you can by default have it be up to 2 hours long or as little as 15 minutes. You can of course change that once you start to create the event. And this is an interesting checkbox. I'm not familiar with that, but now we can change. I think I will change this one. I'm going to change this to have the week start on Monday, because we typically don't do PTA things on the weekend except for work our butts off at the events that we do, but we don't schedule meetings and things like that. I can set working hours, which I don't think is really important to what we do here. Show or hide weekends, leave that on. Default, when we log in, we can always start with the week view, or I can change it. I'm going to change that to month. Custom view, good. I can change this to something more interesting. Make it a 7-day view. If the weather is shown, I can have it shown in different degrees, which might be kind of nice if we plan a lot of outdoor events. And that's probably about it. I save those changes. And probably the best thing is that this 4-day thing changed to a 7-day view. So now that little custom button is now something a little bit more useful to me. That's about it. You, of course, can print your calendar. I kind of like to print the agenda view, and as you can see, color coded based on things that are being shared to me. The reason this is here twice is because I invited the president to this event, so I'm still seeing both my calendar and I'm seeing the president's calendar here. If I hide the president's calendar, you'll see that that goes away. So that can be a little confusing. Don't be confused by that. It's just has to do with the shared calendars. So anyway, that is just about it. I hope that's helpful, and take care.